So if I'm moving this, I move this, I move that, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to lock up. I don't know why I'm so amused by that, but I am totally amused by that. What is going on, people? It is your boy Temp, and I am here with a brand new video. As you can see, I have a new toy. This is the DJI RS3 Pro gimbal, the brand new gimbal by DJI. They have an RS3 version as well. So for this video, I'm going to do an unboxing, show you guys what comes with the gimbal. I'm gonna see how it works with my 6K Pro. And also I'm gonna compare it to my other gimbal, which is the DJI RS2. So I'm gonna talk about why I decided to upgrade to the RS3 Pro and see if I think the upgrade is worth it. I'm gonna try and balance it, see if it works with this setup, and also see if it works with some of my other setups. So if you enjoy content like this, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff for the algorithm, because I greatly appreciate it. And let's get into the video. So let's talk about why I decided to upgrade to the RS3 Pro. So my camera of choice is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, which is a pretty oddly shaped camera. So with my RS2, I was able to balance it, but I did have to add some counterweights in order to do so. It doesn't add a lot of weight. I think it adds like 1 to 2 pounds, but once you start getting to big rigs like this, you definitely start to feel that extra 1 to 2 pounds. So my goal is to use the RS3 Pro, which has longer arms than the RS2. It's the same weight capacity, but because the arms are longer, it should be a bit easier to balance. So that's one reason why I decided to upgrade to the RS3 Pro. The second reason why I decided to upgrade to the RS3 Pro is because of the Bluetooth connectivity. Now with my camera, this does have Bluetooth built in, but with the RS2, I did not have the capability to trigger the record function from my remote. But with the RS3 Pro, I can trigger it from my handle, which works really well with my other setup, which is the Tilta Advanced Ring. Now, as soon as I got this ring, I was very impressed with the quality of it, very impressed with how it functioned. The only thing that I felt was lacking from this setup, the handles had a record button and a Bluetooth function that I couldn't use. So despite the fact that I was able to control all the other aspects of the gimbal with the grip handles, I wasn't able to record. So every single time I wanted to record while I was on the gimbal, I had to physically hit the record button, which was not as big of a pain, but it's still a pain and I don't want to deal with that. So hopefully with these two features, it'll be able to get my 6K Pro rig running the way that I want it to. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. And we are introduced to a very, very nice pouch. It's a soft case, so it's not as protective as maybe like a hard case, but it's definitely something. So while I'm opening this, I want to talk about another thing that I'm looking forward to when it comes to this gimbal, and that's just future-proofing my setup. So DJI came out with the whole transmitter receiver bundle, so you can have a wireless monitor that you can pull focus from, that you can use as a director's monitor. And for me, I feel like that's definitely the direction that I'm going as far as my productions. So just having an all-in-one system that really works really well. But there's definitely going to be a point where I buy the transmitter and the receiver and the wireless monitor and everything like that. So another reason why I got this. So let's open it up, see what's inside, what's under here. So we have, oh, it's wrapped up nice. Okay, I think this is the battery. So if you previously owned an RSC2 or an RS2, you already know about the separated battery handle, which is a great feature. This one is the same size, okay. For some reason, when I was looking online, they were saying that like the handle for the RS3 is a bit smaller than the RS2. Okay, so here they are side by side, and they're exactly the same. So maybe it was the RS3 that was supposed to be smaller, but the RS3 Pro, at least the one that I have, the battery handle is the same exact size. I'm assuming it's the same exact capacity. Okay, so let's go see what else we have here. Here is the plate for the RS3 Pro, which is definitely a lot bigger than the one from the RS2. Let me see if it actually fits. It does fit, okay. So I can keep the plate for the RS2 and use it for the RS3. So that's really dope. Okay, what else do we have here? So this is the tripod handle, which I believe is the same tripod handle. It is, same tripod handle. We have, this is actually pretty cool. I like the fact that it comes with a briefcase handle because I had to buy this separately on my RS2. But now let's get to what we are all here for, the actual gimbal itself. And yeah, it's definitely bigger. It's definitely bigger. Let's put it together. Well, first off, let's put the case on the floor and let's put the pieces together. Yeah, it's definitely nice. So looking at it, feels pretty robust, feels pretty sturdy. So one of the other things that they improved from the RS2 is the screen on the back. This is like a 1.8 inch, and I believe this screen is just a 1 inch. So you get a bit more screen resolution, which helps you go through your menus a bit better. Speaking of menu, there's actually a function on here that you used to have to go into the menu to switch, but now they made it a physical switch out here, which is the follow mode, which I really enjoy because there are plenty of times where, because I had to go into the menu and the menu is a touchscreen, I would accidentally change the gimbal mode by accident. But now that we have a physical switch, I feel like it's gonna be a lot harder for me to actually switch out of the gimbal mode that I want. So let's try and balance this thing, see what she does. So already I have a bit more space here because normally if I put my camera where it is right now on the RS2, it will be rubbing against this arm right here. So I will have to offset it a little bit to give me a bit more room. But now that the arms are longer, I don't have to offset it. So hopefully that will help in the balancing process. So let's balance the tilt. One tip that I actually got from Potato Jet, watching one of his videos about the RS3, is if your camera is pretty heavy and it's hard to slide, what you wanna do is you wanna take some of the weight off of this arm by holding it up, and it's much easier to slide back and forth. So okay, so it's not perfectly balanced as you would typically want a gimbal to be. If I tilt it up this way, it stays pretty still. And if I tilt it forward, it stays pretty still. But if I tilt it like halfway, it still kind of moves forward a little bit. So I'm gonna leave it there for now, and I'm gonna go try some of the other axes, or the axes, however you pronounce that. Okay, so let's do the roll axis, which is always the hardest axis to balance. I like the placement of the locks now. The lock used to be under here, so it's kind of hard to get to, but now it's a lot easier. Let's see if I can do it without adding any counterweights, which is the goal. All right, I think we did it. We have successfully balanced the roll axis without adding any counterweights, which is exactly what I wanted. So good on that. Where? I think something was loose. Oh yeah, it's definitely came loose. Okay, so we fixed the tilt axis now. Okay, let's do the pan axis. So they completely changed up the design of the pan axis lock, which is here now. It's a bit weird, it's a bit weird. It's not intuitive. It took me a while to kind of figure out where it was, but now that it's here, yeah, okay, let's work with it and see what's up. Okay, there it goes. So if you're not very familiar with balancing cameras on gimbals, it's gonna take some time, especially if it's your first time doing it, but just be very patient, double check, triple check, and just make sure everything is as balanced as it can be, and you should be fine. But again, take your time. Let's turn it on, see what's up. Throw my gimbals here, and yeah, feels pretty good. Now let's do the feature that everyone's been talking about, the auto lock function. So that's pretty fucking cool, I'm not even gonna hold you. So anytime you turn the gimbal off or you put it to sleep, it automatically locks all the axes. You can actually lock it in two different ways. So if you put it to sleep, it can only go to recenter and lock. But if you want to turn it off, you could do recenter and lock or fold and lock. So now if I turn it off all the way, that is so cool. I'm not even gonna hold you. That is so cool. Turn it back on, ready to go. Wow, I really like this. Okay, so it does what it's supposed to do. So now that I see that it's working by itself, I'm going to see if it's going to work on my Tilta Advanced Ring. So let me turn this off again. so here goes my Tilta Advanced Ring. Let's put her on there. Actually, you know what? I need a V-mount battery. I'll be right back. So as of right now, my V-mount battery just goes on this V-mount clamp that I just attached to the arm like that. I know there's a battery plate that attaches to this right here, but at the time when I ordered the ring, it wasn't available, and it was gonna get here in like 2 weeks, and I needed it for a shoot that weekend. So I ended up just going with this, and I just haven't ordered it since. So maybe after this video, I'll order it and see what's up. Okay, perfect, so that works. The follow focus is working, perfect. Let's see if I can connect via Bluetooth to this camera. Okay, so it says that it's Bluetooth enabled. Let's see if it is. If I hit the record button, what happens? Okay, nothing's happening. Well, actually, let me put a card in there first. I think that'll help. Okay, so the CFast card is in. We are going to take it out of sleep mode. And now let's see what happens. It's recording. Yes, we love that. Okay, so now I can record without having to press the button. Wow, okay, so this pretty much works exactly the way that I wanted it to, so I'm pretty happy. Also, the gimbal doesn't feel like it's struggling as much. I mean, it wasn't much of a struggle before, but now it feels like it can really handle this setup, like for real, okay? Okay, so I definitely have to take this out in the field and try it out, but as of right now, this is the perfect gimbal setup for me and my 6K Pro with the full cage, and it doesn't have any counterweights on it. So as of now, I'm giving this a 10. Like, it works really well. It works better than the RS2 for my setup. If you don't have as big of a setup as I have, you probably don't need the RS3 Pro. You could probably get the RS3, which is the upgrade to the RS2, and then the RS2 Pro upgraded to the RS3. I'm not even gonna try and explain it because DJI, like, that whole naming system is kind of weird, but I can't wait to take it out and see how it really performs. I will give you guys an update whenever I can. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like content like this, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Help out the algorithm, help out your boy. And I will see you guys on the next one. That will never get old.